Hi, my name is Brittany Gibson, and I'm applying for National Geographic Society's Young Explorers Grant. I'm applying for this grant to tell you a story. The story of one soldier and his Vietnam. In every history class, Vietnam is either glazed over or taught as a retreat, and my generation is rapidly forgetting such a huge part in our history. Now you're probably thinking, why is this so important? Well, Garner isn't like most soldiers. He served as captain of the 407th Montagnard Scout Company, part of the Vietnamese Infantry Division, meaning he was the only American among an army of Vietnamese for over a year. His unique situation and role in this war gives a small window of opportunity to shine a new perspective on the Vietnamese people and how our presence actually influenced them. I'm very excited for this trip, not only to learn more about a country during war, but also how they have overcome great violence and fear to rebuild their communities. We will travel to over 15 locations significant to the war and Garner's time in Vietnam. National Geographic prides itself on combining science and culture and bringing it to the hearts and minds of individuals despite their education. This story will show a different side to the Vietnamese countryside that is quickly being left behind. To end this video, I want to tell you one of my favorite stories of Garner's time in Vietnam. After 365 days of being the only American, Garner's request for another American was finally granted. 2 weeks later, Rob, a wannabe doctor who never left home without his copy of Grey's Anatomy, the textbook, not the TV show, stepped off the plane and signed on. He was an intelligence guy, per Garner's request. And Garner took Rob through the rounds, walking through villages and meeting the people. Much like Garner, these people had also been forgotten. They were sick and hungry. Together they decided to help these people. Rob found children's chalk vitamins shaped like different animals. The next morning, Garner and Rob set up a table at the front of town and spread the vitamins out on the table. They separated each vitamin into its own animal category. When the first patient stepped forward, complaining of a stomachache, Garner and Rob prescribed him 2 chickens, 3 cows, 5 ducks, and 1 rabbit. Now the instructions were specific. The first morning, he had to take 1 chicken, 2 cows, 3 ducks, in that order, and the rest he could take as he pleased over the next 2 days. But the last one had to be the rabbit. The Vietnamese went crazy. The next day, they were already lined up out the door, lined up all through the town, before Garner and Rob even entered the town. I hope that this will give you a new perspective, and I hope that you will give me the opportunity to return back to Vietnam to retrace these 2 tours of General J. Garner. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for listening to me. Now it's time for me to tell you a little bit about myself. I recently graduated from Florida State University with a degree in editing, writing, and media, and a minor in environmental studies. My freshman year, I was exploratory. The major everybody has when they have no idea what they want to do with their lives. My guidance counselor sat me down and asked me to tell him what I liked. I said science, culture, traveling, and writing. And he in turn handed me an issue of National Geographic. That was the first issue I had ever read. I had seen them before. They had been sitting in my house ready to read, but I never picked one up until my guidance counselor handed me the story of the Underground of Paris. I read it cover to cover and fell in love. Now, 4 years later, I was scouring the internet for an opportunity to eventually become an employee of National Geographic. And I found the Young Explorers Grant. This grant gives me the opportunity to travel and tell a story that I've been dying to tell for years. The story of my grandfather's return to retrace his 2 tours in Vietnam. I think that this story is a way for the American people to see a different side of such a gruesome wound in our history. A shadow that people often are trying to forget. I've been traveling since I was young, and I was bit by the travel bug very, very early. I've studied abroad in 3 different countries. I speak Italian, and I can speak conversational Spanish. My love of culture is immense. I love traveling to new places, meeting new people, and breathing the air of fresh places. Traveling to Vietnam with my grandfather is an opportunity of a lifetime for me and a chance for me to share a story that I don't think anybody's ever heard before. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I look forward to hearing from you. And thank you again for listening.